wisdom and insight for worship leaders and music teams all around the world. For more details, email thewell@planetshakers.com.
Hi everyone and welcome to The Well.
Welcome.
BJ going?
Hey buddy.
Pastor Sam,
Good.
what's up? You guys good?
Yeah,
Very
good,
well.
thanks. How are
Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good. How
Yes.
are you? Are you good?
Are you good? We would like to know how you are.
Yes.
Write us an email at thewell@planetshakers.com and tell us how you're going.
Yes, and then ask us a question.
Then ask us a question.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
So what are we going to do today?
Today we've got an exciting episode.
Yeah.
It's about
Melody.
how to write a melody.
How do you write a melody?
You can write a melody in many different ways.
Many different ways.
We'll find out a bit later because first of all we have to talk about
Last
the
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah.
You're at the Northeast campus in the morning.
It's been a while. It's
Awesome.
probably been 18 months since I travelled out to a different campus.
Yeah.
And it was so good to experience.
Yeah, cool.
Because you really, when you're here all the time, you're experiencing the strength of Planetshakers music.
Yes.
Because we've got the most experienced players on here in the city campus.
Yeah.
So when you go out to the other campuses, it's where the lesser experienced musos are. Still great, but they haven't had as much experience. So it's great to get amongst them and help lift the standard. And really, I found myself just fine-tuning a lot of different things, and it was just so important. And it was so it was much needed. I really enjoyed it.
Great.
I didn't enjoy them early morning though.
No, you had to get up earlier. But one of the things you said was about following the preacher.
Following the preacher.
Yeah, what?
Oh, it's so important. I encourage all the guys that, you're not up there just to play a few songs, but you're up there to help carry the meeting dynamically. So when the band's playing behind the preacher in an altar call or something like that, to match the dynamic of the music to what they're speaking. You don't even have to think super spiritual about this.
Yeah,
If the
totally.
preacher or the speaker starts to get more passionate about a point,
Let's go there.
you match that with your music. And so, they weren't doing that in the first service, so I really encouraged that and explained how we do that. It's quite simple, really.
Yeah.
And in the next service, they all did it great.
Yeah, and it's challenging, of course, being a speaker. And if you're getting passionate and then
Yes.
you feel like the band might be asleep,
So true.
that's not very
Yes.
helpful.
So true. And the other thing I share with them is always encouraging them to think about what's coming up next. Like I'm sure we all do this when we're on stage. We're always thinking about what's the next song list, what's the next part of the meeting, what's happening after this chorus. You're always thinking about what's coming up next, so you're prepared to execute that next
Yes.
section well. So there's two little tips that can help everybody.
That's so true. And where were you, BJ?
I was in Geelong for a service there. It was just one service, and it was a live link with Pastor Russell. It was live link everywhere, I believe, and it was awesome. And it was a pretty well organised morning. The team were organised really well. They're doing it. Yeah, it's quite well. No, they're doing a great job in Geelong, and I'm proud of the effort. There's actually quite a few Melbourne people there, which was great. It's always great for our guys from Melbourne to input from the culture that we have here
Yeah.
in
Because
other
we
campuses.
are one church,
We are.
just in different locations.
And I'd love to report that they're all doing a great job and rising to the challenge.
They are. People might not be aware, but we do have one massive, like Pastor Sam, one church, one big creative team, and people go all over the place to different campuses.
Musicianaries.
Our aim is to have self-sufficient campuses, but until then, we spread out the team all around the campuses.
It takes a number of years to grow.
Does take
Yes.
time. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
So Pastor Russell is sharing on overflow comes by faith. And it's just, it's messing me up in all the right ways at the moment. And this last Sunday, he particularly focused in on pruning. And sometimes for us to grow to the next stage of not just fruitful, but bearing much fruit in our lives, we need to get a little trim back and a little haircut. Yeah, a little, just get a little bit more well kept in the grooming department. And but no, look, it's an awesome, powerful message. I'd love for you to listen to it. You can download it on our app, and you can hear it there. It's powerful. It's very awesome. But it's speaking to my heart and just about things maybe I could be hanging on to that would inhibit me from going to the next place of multiplication in my own life personally, that would benefit even our team corporately, if I let go of this, it always has an on-flow effect with other people. When I get a victory in my life, it always affects other people. So that's what's on my heart.
Very good. And he's talking about having faith in the pruning.
Oh, yes. Faith in the pruning.
That this is good.
Yes.
I believe this is good for me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Shall we talk about this week's topic, which is, as Joth would pronounce it, melodies.
Because I'm from Melbourne. That's why.
How to write a good melody. How do you
Yes.
do that, guys? You're amazing songwriters.
Thank you. You are
Thank
too.
you. Yeah, you are
not
too.
really.
Look,
Yeah.
you don't have to be the most accomplished musician to write a great melody.
No, it's true.
But a good melody doesn't need any music, like any instruments under it, to make it feel like it's a good melody.
That's true.
In fact, the best melodies are great without instruments because you can just sing it.
Yeah,
like
for
Amazing
sure.
Grace, for example. What a great melody.
Amazing.
Amazing Grace, how sweet the
Totally.
sound.
Amazing.
You know, that you don't need, we could sing that right now in 3-part harmony. Ready? 1, 2, no. Pastor Sam's like, no way. And it would be so good because
Yes,
it's
it
a
would.
great melody. That's the importance of a melody.
Totally. And you know what? I don't think you have to be super calculated about your approach to it, at least in the beginning. You can just let whatever comes out come out. Let the beauty of the rawness of that initial moment come out. And, you know, you can always tweak melodies later, bring things back in if you're thinking about writing songs for congregations and whatnot.
I find the best melody, and Pastor Sam, you would relate to this because you don't write a melody on an instrument. You just come up with it in your head, whether you're in the car driving or whatever. You just come up with a melody. Same with me. Happen to be in the shower when I come up with melodies a lot.
Yeah.
Yourself?
Um,
Toilet more.
Yeah, probably more the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it could happen anywhere.
It can happen anywhere. But usually, yeah, if you come up with that melody by itself, it's got an identity and it's strong and it doesn't necessarily need music. So when you add the music, it just lifts it even more.
Yeah.
But it's so important to have a strong melody. It's so important to have a simple melody, especially in congregational praise and worship.
Yes.
If you're writing a song for the secular, for the charts, for the radio, whatever, just go to town.
Go to town.
It doesn't matter.
Have a party in the
You
town.
want it to have hooks and all that sort of stuff.
Have a
but
town party.
You know, it's a different game when you're writing for congregations to sing.
Totally.
Because it needs to be accessible to the wide majority of people.
You know what? I've got this great analogy for that. I've heard, I don't know if it's 100% true, but
No, it is true.
I knew that. I knew it was true. A Boeing 747, a big jet, can do from wingtip to wingtip. It can go do a barrel roll.
Can it?
Yeah, it can.
Wow.
Which is awesome, right? It's amazing, very cool, but it's very uncomfortable for its passengers
Oh, yeah, I'm
inside.
sure.
So if there's people
Especially
inside
if
there,
you're not wearing a
I know, totally. You'll be floating around in that thing.
Yeah.
But it's the same with our songs, you know, like the more simple it is,
But we can do barrel rolls.
we can do barrel rolls.
Yeah.
Totally. If we're going to make things complicated, it makes it very uncomfortable for our people to sing. So the simpler things are, the nicer it is for people.
Well, and we want them to get hold of these things quickly so they can join in worship.
That's true.
And so I think the simpler the melody, the quicker people get hold of it as a group and can be able to sing it and connect with God. So I think that's
Yes.
important. But we've even changed things up. Like, for example, that song that you wrote, that I'm free or whatever it's called, and we had a certain way that we would sing it, but the congregation weren't quite getting it right.
Yeah, the length in one of the notes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to change it up
Yeah.
so that everyone could get it
Yes.
and not get it wrong.
That's true.
Yeah.
So sometimes we do that.
Yeah, we
We-
need to think of that.
We tailor it to the congregation. We see the fruit of what you just talked about all around the world when we tour. Some of the, half of the crowd sometimes have never heard our songs before, especially if we go into a church, if we're doing a church service somewhere. But they pick them up by the second time they sing the chorus.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And that is a very important thing to us because it is all about glorifying God, getting people to praise and
Yeah.
worship. We have no desire to perform to people, but we want to help people encounter God. And so the simpler the song, the easier to pick up, the better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then using the word of God in our singing as well just
Yes,
helps
for
again
sure.
to connect people with God.
And talking about that, next week's episode is going to be about writing lyrics for songs.
Amazing.
So make sure you pay attention for the next week's episode because this is
Yeah.
about the melody. Next week's going to be about lyrics, and
Yeah.
you'll be able to write a good song by the end of that.
So a little bit more about melodies. How do you guys actually do it? Come on, tell us, these genius brains. Get it out of those brains and tell the rest of us simpletons. How do you do it?
Well, for me, I go like by feeling.
Yeah,
I like
me
to
too.
feel it. Like
Me too.
So it's amazing, and it depends what season you're in as well, and what culture you're in, and all these different factors. But sometimes you can sing something, and it'll just give you like a little, ooh, that just feels good. You know what I mean? Like a little tinge,
Chill.
a little chill. It's like, ooh, it's nice.
Yes, for sure.
And I'm like, when you kind of sing that and you get that feeling, you lean into that and you try to produce that and replicate that into other parts of the song. But that's one of the main things that helps shape my melodies. I try to really feel where it's going. And I am thinking, can I imagine a congregation singing this? Like I'm trying to think about 1,000 voices or 10 voices, just a group of people singing this. Would this translate well?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, look, it all comes out of that time of worship, I guess, and it's always something I find I come back to, even if I stray away from it for a moment. I always end up coming back to that melody, and that's how I know it's a strong melody. I always want to sing it, always keep coming back to it.
Get excited about singing it again.
Yeah, and then the other thing that excites me within the melody is maybe I've said something that's not been said before, and I just feel, like Joth said about feeling, like I feel something on that. When I wrote Leave Me Astounded, I thought, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, leave me astounded, leave me amazed, show off your glory, blah, blah, blah. But it kept coming back to me and I just got all the right feelings about it. And
So surely that's God.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
Directing
thinking
you, speaking,
so. Yeah, that's
downloading.
definitely how I take it anyway. Yeah.
And then sometimes you'll have, like, we'll be happy with the melody that we come up with, and then we'll go to an instrument. And then some chord, like I feel like I definitely want to hear that chord, but for whatever reason that note is clashing with the chord. So then you've got to go, okay, am I going to change the chord or am I going to change the melody?
Yeah.
And often it's down the middle. Sometimes change the melody, sometimes change the chord. But that does happen as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotta be
with
open.
sorry,
No, go.
with those changes, I think at the end of all of that, knowing that what we're called to do at least, at Planetshakers, always have the congregation in mind. That's what determines my final call on something. It's not necessarily whether I love the sound of it or whatever. What are they going to get? What are they going to get the easiest?
And for instance, you might already have lyrics written and you want to put a melody to the lyrics. Some people write like that, like they have poetry, they write a poem, and then they'll take that poem to a musician and say, put that to words. And it's important to make the tone and the sound of the melody match the tone of the lyric.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So, because you don't want to be... So, for instance, if the verse is talking about this pain and this heartache, like the Psalms where David says, all my enemies surround me, you don't want to have a happy-sounding melody there because it doesn't match the tone of the lyric to the melody. So you want, and we'll talk about that next week when you write words, but you want the music of the melody to match the tone of what you're trying to say as well. That's what I think about when I'm writing melodies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
And some melodies, though, can be annoying.
It's true.
Like, they could be catchy, but they're really annoying.
To the love generation. That annoys me, that song.
Can we say
Have you got
that?
an example?
No, I can't remember right at the moment.
got an
But
example?
there's some, or like, you get jingles on the TV or radio that they're trying to sell something and it gets in your head, but
sure
it's
get in your head.
so annoying sometimes.
Which raises a good point about having hooks in your song.
Totally, it does raise
Because
a great point.
that's a negative example, but a positive example is, what is that song that you love to sing right now? Because it's got such a strong hook that you can remember it and you sing it over and over again.
Yes.
All songs should have a good hook.
Yeah,
I believe.
definitely.
Same.
Congregationally.
Yeah, somewhere in the song.
Yeah.
Somewhere in
Whether
the
it's the
song.
end of the chorus, the start of the chorus, wherever.
What does that mean, hook?
Something that hooks you, grabs you in,
Yeah.
pulls you in and like, I want to hear that again. It got my attention.
Yeah. I always think of the hook as being something that's like the punchline or the title of the song, real strong theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
So we hope that inspires you to go away and come up with a good melody.
Yes.
And stay tuned for next week's episode of Lyrics. And when you merge the two together, hopefully you've got yourself a powerful song.
Indeed.
So we love to answer your questions.
Love it.
Because we want to hear what you want to know.
That's right, we do.
So we've got some more questions, haven't we?
We do. And if you have a question, email the well@planetshakers.com.
Please.
First question is for Zion. What a cool name.
Zion.
Pastor Sam, Joth and BJ. Yes. Hope BJ is back and doing great.
You're doing back. Great. I'm back.
And you're doing great.
I am. Thank you.
You guys were amazing at Awakening Conference 2016. Saw you guys live on Daystar. The presence of God was just overflowing. Keep it going. You guys inspire a lot of youngsters around the world and old people too, we hope.
Thank you, yeah.
Do I relate to that category? Is that
no,
what
you don't. I have 2 questions for you guys. How to prepare a worship team for Sunday service? A schedule might help. How do we do that?
Yeah.
How do we prepare a team?
We send them their roster.
Well, we have a roster. That obviously is the best form of preparation because then you know when you're on.
Have their songs that they have to learn.
Yeah, but
They're preparing practically.
we will touch on that. We don't send out song lists necessarily. No. We just have a big catalogue of songs that everyone has to learn every song off by heart. Yeah. And that gives us the great ability to prophetically flow and just pull a song out of anywhere and people know it. Yeah. However, when I was at NEC last Sunday, I gave them the song list on Saturday because I wanted to set them up to win and help them there.
Great.
So we do that. But what else do we do? We pray together.
Pray together, have discipleship together.
Yeah.
Get everyone's spirit, in the right place and their heart in the right place.
Yeah.
Yep.
We hang out,
Yep.
talk to each other.
Hangs, talks.
Big family.
Yeah.
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 The second part of the question, how to practice for a worship concert and how to go about rehearsals. Well, you can actually watch about 2 or 3 episodes ago, we did an episode on rehearsals.
Yeah.
So why don't you check that out?
Cool. Check it out.
That'll help you. Next question.
Thanks, Zion.
Thanks, Zion. Thanks for writing in. Next question is from Caleb.
Hi,
he is
Caleb.
from Bolivia, Missouri. I could have said that wrong. USA. I've been playing in worship for about 4 years.
Good job.
And have been playing lead for about 1.5 years. Gear is a big deal to electric guitar. It sure is. Could you do a rundown on guitar amps, pedals, cables, and the works? I'm especially interested in how you run amps off stage without using tons of instrument cable and running stereo amps.
Well, this is good.
Go ahead, guys.
We will do an episode on guitar gear coming up, and so keep your eyes open for that. That'd be great. Yeah. Next question is from, don't have their name, but hello.
Hi.
Bless you.
Hello, Planetshakers. No, they do have their name. I am Philo from Germany.
Hi.
Hi, Philo.
Forgets. And I was wondering if you know Hillsong and especially their music. If you do, what do you think of them?
I think they're legends.
Amazing. Changing the world.
Totally. I grew up going to Hillsong conferences and singing their songs at my old church and had great encounters with God.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Next question from John Valdez, who we've heard from before. Hey guys, are you going to release the Momentum EP on multi-tracks?
No
we
way.
would love to.
Jokes.
We would love to do the new Planetshakers song at our church, Love from the Philippines. Well, you know what, John Valdez, good news is that I just started bouncing out the stems for that today. Woo! So keep your eyes peeled. In the next couple of weeks, they'll be up there. Okay, last question for today is from Steffi.
Steffi.
Hi, Steffi.
Hey, Steffi, I am curious to know why sometimes you change the lyrics to songs just before the awakening.
Yeah.
And how this comes about.
Great question.
Often it doesn't come about from us, does it?
No.
It's another power influencing us.
Yes.
Called our, what are they called?
Record label.
Yeah, record label.
Yeah.
And they encourage us that,
Different lyrics work better for the world scheme as opposed to just our church.
Yes, because we're Australians and, we're a bit down underish, I suppose.
We're true blue, mate. That's what we are. And also, Pastor Joth wanted to encourage you and say that it's been great to see you leading, etc., without the guitar. And she thinks that works really well.
Good job.
Well, thanks.
You get more puffed though, right?
I do get more puffed because when you got your guitar, you have to stand behind your mic stand, so you don't have to jump as much.
Yeah.
Which burn some more. That's how you stay thin, because you got to be jumping so much in praise.
So true.
Job, moving right along.
But we want to always leave you laughing. No, we want to leave you with a piece of advice to try and help you for this weekend.
Well, that is true.
So we would love to do that.
Yep.
And who should we start with?
BJ.
Great.
I think we often start with poor
You can
BJ.
start
It's a good pattern, I reckon.
That's fine. We can roll
right.
with it. If you hear Pastor Russell's message that I talked about earlier, I would love to encourage you, just go with that pruning in faith, believing that God's going to take you to another level, another place. He is out to bless you. He's good and wants great for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me next?
Yeah, your turn.
Is that why you're looking at me?
Yeah.
Who says no, you go next?
All right, I'll go next. We're talking about an overflow of faith.
Overflow of faith.
I want you to believe. You know, we get up on stage so many times and we just get into the routine of doing songs. But no, go up on stage this Sunday and believe for God to do amazing things. Believe for your eyes even to see miracles and things unfolding before you. That old guy out the back who stands in praise and worship with his arms crossed, believe that he's going to be so passionately into it this Sunday. Have faith.
Amen.
Good job.
I want to encourage you with not allowing your personal life or your personal issues to get in the way of being used by God, and to understand that when you are weak, He is strong. And so yield yourself to God no matter what you're facing and whatever you're going through, because He will use you no matter the season, and He'll flow through you. And so this weekend is going to be a powerful weekend for you. So that's it from us.
It's good stuff. Yeah. Have a great week, guys.
Have a good week.
Don't forget to write any questions to thewell@planetshakers.com.
See you later.
See you later.